big picture is that the UAE is, as many of your viewers and readers will know, UAE is supporting the Rapid Support Forces in Sudan, and that the UAE denies that they are supporting the militia. The businessman who's supplying the Colombian mercenaries to the RSF is very highly connected to very senior bureaucrats, probably the top bureaucrat in the UAE government. And this report sort of provides some detail about exactly what those business links are.
قدمنا لرئاستكم السيد الرئيس قبل أسبوع 6 جوازات إماراتية وجدناها في الخرطوم ضمن العمليات المشتركة لدعم السريع، وأنتم لم تنشروها حتى الآن في الموضع الذي قلنا لكم بتعميمه.
Definitely foreign interests involved. It's not purely a civil war. It's not purely a local war. There's also an international dimension. So we know from passports and identity papers found on the battlefield that there are fighters from other countries, Chad, for example, Niger, found in Sudan. We know that UAE passports have been found in downed planes and destroyed vehicles, for example. So we know that there are some Emirati officials who have been found on the battlefield. And what this does is show that the Colombian mercenaries, who have been well documented by some Colombian newspapers, because some of the Colombians have returned home and started to talk about it, we now know some detail about exactly how they were hired and the companies that were involved in hiring them. So it helps to prove that, yes, there's a strong international dimension, and that these mercenaries are training the RSF militia in use of high-tech weaponry, including drones, and they've also been videoed training very young soldiers, possibly child soldiers, and firing mortars into El Fasher. Basically, armies run on logistics. They need money, they need fuel, they need people, they need food, and the RSF, without international support, wouldn't be able to sustain themselves for over the long period, and likely SAF also wouldn't. So what the supply of weapons, money, fuel, and people to the belligerents is doing is prolonging the war and prolonging civilian harm. And peace talks usually happen when one or both sides feel that they can't win using military means alone. And that's when they seriously engage in peace talks. And what the supply of weaponry and the supply of mercenaries and the supply of money is doing is prolonging that moment and helping the belligerents to feel that they can win on the battlefield. So if people really genuinely want a ceasefire, for the RSF side, what the international community, UN Security Council members need to do is put pressure on UAE to stop providing a framework for support to the RSF. So they provide their companies and their banks to allow RSF to smuggle gold out, buy it and sell it, and use the proceeds presumably to help their war effort. And presumably somebody in perhaps in the UAE is paying for these Colombian mercenaries and other mercenaries, and that needs to be stopped as well. And really it's on the RSF side, it's international pressure on the UAE to stop their long-standing support for an increasingly brutal militia.